Let's talk about 5 big fixes for EA Sports College Football 26. Now, of course, we're still playing College Football 25. We're about halfway through the year. The college football season is officially over. So now we're kind of moving towards College Football 26. We know EA is working on it. We've heard some rumors. We've heard some leaks. But we don't have too much concrete info on the game just yet. And we probably won't for the next couple of months. But while College Football 25 is a huge success and many people are still playing it, including myself, there are a number of issues with the game, just like pretty much any video game out there. And since this is a yearly game, not only are they going to be looking to add new things to the game or maybe bring back stuff from the series of past, but they're also going to be looking to fix some of the issues that still remain with 25. Now, of course, they fixed some of the issues, but some still remain. So I'm going to talk about 5 big ones that I think they're going to be addressing in College Football 26. And hey, if you're new to the channel and you never want to miss out on any of these important uploads because we're going to be getting tons of news and leaks about this game soon, make sure to subscribe and turn the bell icon on so you don't miss any videos when they go live. You know, more than half of you that watch the videos aren't subscribed, so you could be missing out on some really important videos. The first thing I want to talk about is something gameplay related, and that is defense. I think if you asked most people, defense is by far the thing about the gameplay that needs the most work. Offense is pretty fun. Yeah, some things are unrealistic at times. It definitely leans a little bit more to an arcade game, which I think makes it fun. But defense as a whole, I think, is one area that needs work, and that's typically the case for a lot of EA Sports games, or football games at least, like Madden. Now, the problem with the defense in the game is not that you can't get stops ever, or that there's not ways to create pressure. Good players can definitely get stops, but I think just overall, we'd like to see a little bit more balance with the defense, because it's not just the top players that play the game, it's everybody down to the beginners. And I think with defense in this game, there is a lot to be desired when you talk about pursuit, especially the pursuit angles are not very good in this game. Broken tackles, you know, while they were really bad at the beginning of the year, they toned them down quite a bit. But we do know in college, you see a lot of bad pursuit on Saturdays. You see a lot of missed tackles. So I'm not really that upset with it, but I think just from a video game standpoint, the pursuit can definitely be better. The amount of dropped interceptions, I think, could be better. Now, depending on who you ask, they might say that there are too many interceptions, but I mean, I play a lot of the game and I watch a lot of the game. There's a lot of picks that get dropped, and I think it's more so just when the elite players are dropping these picks, it just kind of seems a little ridiculous at times. And also just the responsiveness in the secondary, especially in zone defense. Now, we've seen them tweak this throughout the years, but we'd like to see them be just a little bit more responsive. There's times where they just kind of drift too far back, kind of just cover ground instead of noticing a threat that's in their vicinity. So we've seen this with Madden in the past. They should be tweaking this to some degree in College Football 26. Number 2, the road to the college football playoff mode. Now, I really love this mode. I haven't played it in some time, but it was my favorite mode to play for the first few months of the game. And while this isn't really technically a fix, because I think this was done intentionally, there are some changes that I think they will make with this mode, or they definitely should, because there's been a lot of feedback around this mode. And it's 2 things primarily: the ability to choose whatever playbook you want in the mode, and the ability to change your uniforms. Now, the uniform thing seems crazy, because in any other mode that EA has, you can kind of choose your uniforms. In Madden, you can play with throwback uniforms or whatever. For some reason in this mode, I don't know if it was just an oversight, but they never addressed it. You couldn't change your uniforms. And in college, there's so many great uniforms that they put into the game in every update. I mean, some teams have 10 plus uniforms, but you can only use the home and away. So that's something they should definitely address that makes the mode more fun. But definitely, they need to add the ability to where you can play with any playbook. Now, I know this is something they did on purpose. They wanted you to have to use the team's playbook, and it made it kind of unique and fun for a little bit. But as the year goes on, people just want to play with the playbooks that they feel more comfortable with. Even if you are an option style player, you want to play in the flex bone, but Alabama's your favorite team. Yeah, it might look weird, but it's a video game, so let people have fun. Now, really quickly, I want to let you know about today's video sponsor, Underdog. Did you know that you can win up to 1,000 times your money by just simply picking higher or lower on player stats? But the best part about Underdog is if you're a new user, they're going to give you free plays and free money right out the gate to help you win. So, for example, if you want to play for the playoff games tomorrow in the NFL, they're going to give you Patrick Mahomes to get a single yard. And that means all you have to do is pass for 1 yard, and that's it, you win. And during the NBA season, they give you free plays every week as well, like Victor Wembanyama to get a single point. And no matter when you sign up, there's going to always be a free play just like this that you can take advantage of. And if you use my promo code RAY, R-A-Y, they'll also give you up to $1,000 in bonus cash on your first deposit, and you just can't beat that. Number 3, Dynasty scheduling. Now, we saw a number of issues with Dynasty when the game released in the first couple of months. They did fix most of them, but I think scheduling is still the one thing that has been kind of wonky throughout the year. A lot of times, especially when you're changing conferences or you're doing team builder teams or just, you know, you're trying to switch it up and be more creative. A lot of times the scheduling can get out of whack where you can't really do the schedule in the way that you would want to. And when the game was coming out last summer, that was one of the big things they talked about in Dynasty was custom conferences, being able to have the schedules the way you want outside of some of the protected games. But even when it comes to protected rivalries and things like that, sometimes those get messed up within Dynasty as well when you change conferences or when you do some other things. So there's definitely some things that they need to iron out there. I think this is something they're definitely going to be looking to address for 26 since they didn't really fully address it in 25. I know there's some workarounds for certain things and they may have fixed some of the issues with it, but it still is something that isn't working, I guess, completely as intended. So with that being such a big part of Dynasty and the customization of it, this is something they definitely need to nail down for 26, and I believe they will be doing that. Number 4 is Team Builder. Now, I think Team Builder overall was pretty good in its first year. We had a decent amount of customization with it, but what I want them to do going into 26 is build on this more, but also fix some of the issues with it. For example, there's been many times throughout the year where people just could not access the site. Now, I've never personally run into this problem, thankfully, when I wanted to use it, but a lot of people did run into this problem. Even other YouTubers have expressed their frustrations with sometimes not being able to load into the site or the site not saving some of the stuff they put in. And I guess when you're running a system like this, like, you're going to run into these kind of complications at times, but they definitely need to fix the bugs within the site itself. But also, just a more recent example, the update that happened a couple days ago caused an issue to Team Builder where a lot of people can't use their Team Builder teams and play now and in Dynasty. Now, I believe they'll probably fix that before 26 comes out because that was just an unintended bug. But I think Team Builder overall, while they need to add more to it, things like a stadium creator or maybe some generic stadiums, more uniform options, and just other things that you can tinker with. They need to also iron out the bugs specifically with the website and just some other issues that people have run into because it's such a big part of this game and such a big part of Dynasty mode. They need to fix the issues within it so that it can run smoother and more people can enjoy it. Number 5, I'm just going to say Road to Glory as a whole, as a mode. Obviously, there's things we want to see added like high school and more positions and just a little bit more depth to the mode, but I'm just talking about in general, the mode just kind of seems like it needs to kind of just get fully looked over again and polished up more. There were a lot of issues with play calling this year, depending on your position. The coach would like call plays where you wouldn't really get to touch the ball much. There were a lot of issues throughout the year with people getting benched a lot in their Road to Glory. Sometimes it could have been a stamina issue, or just other times they just weren't really being able to play, even when they earned coach trust, even when they had played through the mode a bit and they had good ratings and they were a good player. There were just so many little issues with the mode that I think made it hard for a lot of people to enjoy it. Obviously, a lot of people do play this mode, but there are just a lot of hurdles in the mode that people constantly have to get over just to get through it. And I think the play calling and the subbing out of players is one of the bigger things. Now, I know like in certain situations, it makes sense for the play calling to not go your way or for you to get subbed out. But with it being a video game and this being a mode that is based solely around you, I think they need to just tweak it and tailor it a little bit more to where your player is more involved. Even early on when you're still earning that trust, you want your player to be more involved. Otherwise, the mode's just a little boring. You got to find that balance of having to earn your way to the top, having to earn the playing time and the coach trust, but also still being involved enough to where it doesn't just get boring and you stop playing it. But like I said, even when you get that coach trust, even when you build up your player, sometimes people still run into issues like this. So I just think the mode as a whole, while it definitely needs some upgrades and some more depth, it just needs to kind of just be repolished again, in my opinion, and it needs to be tweaked to where the experience is just a little bit more fun for the many people who play it. Now, if you want to know some of the rumors that we've already heard about College Football 26, make sure to check out this video right here on the screen.